Hey guys, Mr. T here. This is another video. This one is on the idea of dummy links. So dummy links are edges required in a precedence network if you have two activities that share some of them, but not all of their immediate prerequisites. So for example, like this here. E has prerequisites of C and D, F has prerequisites of C. They share C, but it's not all, they're not sharing all of their prerequisites. Otherwise, you wouldn't need the dummy links. Ooh, message. You wouldn't need the dummy links if they had the same prerequisites exactly. So dummy links are represented in a network diagram using dotted lines. These dotted lines have no weight, they have a weight of 0 essentially, so the dotted line isn't associated with any task duration, so keep that in mind if you're thinking about, or you're trying to work out critical paths and adding times together. So the rule that you just need to keep in mind to help you drawing this, because it can be a little tricky if there's multiple dummy links you need to draw, is that dummy links are drawn from the end of the shared prerequisite. So in this case, the shared prerequisite is C. You would draw a dummy link from the end of C to the start of the task that has other prerequisites. So in this case, the task with other prerequisites is E, not F. F's only got the prerequisite of C, the shared one. E has the other prerequisite of D. So you're going to be drawing the dummy link from the end of C, the shared prerequisite, to the start of E, not to the start of F. You're going to have a line, not a dummy link, leading to F instead. Alright, so let's have a practice of that. And I'm going to show some of my thinking that's going to help me do that. So often I will try to circle the shared one, underline the other prerequisite, and this is my thinking. E and F share prerequisite of C, so I'm confirming that a dummy link is required on this diagram. E has other prerequisites, that being D has other prereqs. So according to the rule, so dummy link goes to E, it doesn't go to F. Alright, so I have kind of my thinking. I've identified the shared one, shared prerequisite and the non-shared prerequisite. I can draw this network now. So, start node, starting from the left, start. Okay, A and B both have no prerequisites, so they come off of the start node. A and B end them with an unlabeled node. C has the prerequisite of A, so it comes off from the end of A. D has the prerequisite of B, so it comes off the end of B. E has the prerequisite of C and D. F has the prerequisite only of C. F is the one that has no other prerequisites, so it has a solid line coming off of C. E has the other prerequisite, so the dummy link goes to E. So E comes from D and C, but to show that it has a dummy link from C to E, we go from the end of C, we go from the end of the shared prerequisite to the start of the task that has other prerequisites. E has the prerequisite D as well, so it comes off from D and it has the dummy link coming from C, which is the shared one. And then lastly, G has the prerequisite of both E and F, so it doesn't matter how you've chosen to draw this, but they need to converge on G going to the finish. So unfortunately we've got some corrections to do here. F and E would have to curve down to be correct. Can't erase for some reason. Oh well. I'll cross them out. F will go as a straight line there. E will go as a straight line to there. So F and E converge onto G to the finish. I'll try and erase again if possible. Yeah, it's not erasing for some reason. Oh, there we go. So apply the correction to straighten the lines as suggested. It is correct having it curved, but it's just nicer. F, and this was E. And that is it. That is drawing a precedence network from the precedence table provided, following the dummy link rules. Next, you may be asked to create a precedence table involving from a precedence network involving dummy links. So this is a reverse process, but you just need to realize those rules from before. It doesn't change anything, you're just applying it in reverse. So it's always good to organize your thinking to start off with a few dot points. A linked to start. So no prereqs. I and J are linked to end, so they aren't prerequisites. They're the last steps, basically. Not prereq. What else do we have here? So if we look at J, it requires a dummy link from G and H. So J has prerequisites G and H. F has a dummy link linked to it. F requires both D and a dummy link from C. So F requires C and D. F has prereqs of C and D. And then G, because we have two lines converging on G as well, G has the prerequisites of C and D as well. G has prereqs of C and D as well. So with that thinking out of the way, we can start drawing up the precedence table, task, and the prereqs. So do them in order. We know we go from A down to J, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. Okay, so going through the prerequisites. We already said A is linked to the start, so it has no prerequisites. Looking at B, B requires A to have happened. C requires A to have happened. D requires only B to have happened. E requires C to have happened. F has a dummy link from C here, and it requires D. So C and D, we already mentioned that in our thinking, so that is crossed off. We've crossed that off. We haven't done I and J yet. G has prerequisites of C and D also. So G, C, and D. H requires both E and F to proceed with no dummy links, so E, F. G has the prerequisites of C and D also, we've done that, so I requires G to have happened. There's no dummy link to I. And then J requires H and a dummy link from G, so G and H. And then INJ link to the end, so they have no, they are not prerequisites or anything. They finish off the table, and that is it. So that is drawing a precedence table from the precedence network provided below. The way that you've drawn the dummy link to F and G, I guess it doesn't matter too much, but that's the way that it's worked out. They have the same exact prerequisites. You just need to go back and check that your table agrees with everything that is drawn into the precedence network and that you followed the rules for dealing with dummy links, alright? I feel like the table, going to the table rather than going to the network, is a bit easier to do, but you'll see how you go when you do the exercises anyway. So hopefully that helps you out with doing dummy links, and I'll see you in the next video.